In my Bionicle Desolation stop motion series, there are a lot of MOCs, and some only appear for one episode, so I thought it'd be a shame if I didn't review the casts of every single episode so you could see all the MOCs own their own. So let's get into this. There are 15 MOCs here. As you can see, this is a pretty big number. I'm not sure exactly how many MOCs I'm going to need for this series, but I already have over 100 built. It's about 116 if my count was correct. And so here's just the MOCs from episode 3. I'll get the boring ones out of the way first. Most of these characters are unnamed, so I'm just going to refer to them by their head. And so this is like the small jet bug guy that's seen on episode 2 and 3. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend going back and watching the whole series because there will be spoilers in this video. Here's the maroon hero, as I refer to him. Actually, you can kind of see his light is on in his head. But a lot of these characters I'm trying to incorporate lights on. And I think actually this one might have died on me. But I really like his head. It's a little oversized, but he's a robot, so proportions aren't completely necessary. And then here's a few bad guys. These are just, the random soldiers. I have 6 of them, all of them with different custom heads and, of course, different guns. They all have one of these silver shields, and so they're pretty hard to deal with because they've got a decently sized shield and they all have very good weaponry and they're well trained. So they're not exactly going to be stormtroopers. They're going to hit what they're aiming at. Then this is another random good guy who will be on the next few episodes. I mean, that's kind of a spoiler, but I don't know if anybody cares too much yet about this series. Then here's the main character. I plan to do cast reviews of every single episode, so I really won't go over him at all because he'll be in every one, and he's a pretty simple MOC. Here's another random bad guy. If you blink, you'll miss his inclusion in the episode. I don't think he even really moves. He's kind of just in the background. This guy has a speaking line. He's another bad guy that will definitely be on other episodes. Here are the aliens. They're quite loose after the gunfight, and some of them still have some sand on them from that set that I made. I like his gun all right. It's a good build, I guess. This is a very throwaway guy, though. I knew he was going to be dying, and so I didn't really spend any time on him. Then here's the other alien. He's a little bit bulkier, a little bit more complex. His gun is all right. Kind of looks like a ray gun, which is what I was going for. But just something about the shape doesn't really add up with me. I don't like it too much. They also have lights. You can kind of see his eyes light up. Sometimes it's not going to be very visible on the stop motion just due to lighting. And I'm really trying to keep this all practical, so I'm not really going to use any After Effects or anything like that. Muzzle flashes are all practical, stuff like that. And hopefully explosions will be all practical too. This is Vector. He's actually a named character so far. He's one of the only ones who actually has a name. I like this guy a lot, actually. He's pretty simple, but I just like how he looks. And this is about a mid-sized guy for this series. So these two are pretty much mid-sized. Then this is the smallest, about the smallest size of guys you'll see. And I have some Titans that are at least twice the size of Vector here. And so we're going to be getting into some very big MOCs in this series. I have 8 giant MOCs up on my shelf that I'm ready to incorporate. This is just a random meltdown MOC. He will be on other episodes, and of course he's a bad guy. And he has a decent design. He uses, as you can see, a lot of Meltdown's original pieces. I like to try to keep some characters original, and then some I try to basically make a revamp. And this is one of those revamps, kind of. I like the gun. It's kind of simple, but it's a decent design. Then here's the main bad guy for right now. This is Anak, and he has a fully Technic-built stomach, as you can see. And most of these MOCs aren't going to have completely Technic-built legs, and that's to keep part count down and to make them a little lighter, and so they'll be easier to animate with. They won't fall over as easily. He also has a light in the back of his head too. I think this is New Paro's head, something like that. Can't exactly remember, but I really like that head a lot. He has an interesting shoulder design. As you can see, he has an extra joint, which is kind of odd, but it allows for him to have quite a lot of movability and a little more expressiveness. It does make him a pain to animate a little bit because there is that extra joint. And then we have this corroder guy. I like his gun a lot. It's a heavy gun. And then these right here are supposed to be some type of explosives. And I kind of made him a little bit of a stomach, which I think is kind of cool, like armor. And I used some beast spikes to slope that down. Then this is actually one of my favorite armor plates ever in black there. That comes from K2SO. He only has one of them, unfortunately, but I have 3 of that set, so I have a few of them. I just really like this guy, even though he's pretty simple. And then, last but not least, we have this big dark green guy, which I really like. His turn is pretty cool. Kept it a little bit simple, just so it would stay light. He's got a claw hand, as you can see. He'll definitely be utilizing that in this series. And he's got some tanks on his back. He uses multiple bodies, as you can see. He uses a Hero Factory pre-built body, and then he uses, like, Vampra's body, as you can see right there. Well, and it also came with, like, Antros and Chirox and a few others. But that's really all of the guys. I'll stand them all back up so you can get one last glimpse. That's all I have for this video. I just wanted to say real quick, I am going to be planning to post about once a week still. That's my regular schedule right now. But this series is really demanding, so don't be surprised if I go a week without posting. The last video took me about a month to make, so if I don't get a few videos uploaded and scheduled to release, there might be a week or two here and there that I don't have a video planned. And as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos.